Ever notice that planes rarely fly directly over the Pacific Ocean? In this video, we'll break down the key reasons for this. We'll explore why planes choose to avoid this vast expanse of water. Let's get right into it. Every day there are at least 100,000 flights, and sometimes this number can reach double. We will find that the number of flights that fly over the Pacific Ocean is about 40 flights. And this is not because it is an ocean. The Indian Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean are crossed by more than 4,000 planes per day. So why do pilots always avoid flying over the Pacific Ocean and prefer to fly on any other route, even if it seems longer than the route that takes the Pacific Ocean? If we look at the flights from East Asia to South America, we will find that all the planes will take the route that you see on the screen, a very long flight. And the strange thing is that it appears on the map that crossing the Pacific Ocean is easier and shorter. So why don't the pilots take this straight line and rest their heads? Why do they choose the long route? In fact, there are more than one reason that makes the pilots do this. The first and most important reason is that the Pacific Ocean is vast. The area of the Pacific Ocean reaches more than 165 million square kilometers. Also, the Pacific Ocean does not have any suitable land for planes to land. If the plane is in the air and has a problem, let's say an engine failure, it has no option but to fall into the water. In addition to this, the Pacific Ocean is the deepest ocean on Earth. This ocean contains the Mariana Trench, which is 11,000 meters deep. This means that if the plane falls into this ocean, no one will find it. Because of this, pilots always prefer to fly over land, because the longer the plane is over land, the better chance it has of dealing with emergencies. In addition, the widest part of the Pacific Ocean is about 20,000 kilometers long, and not all planes can cover this distance in one go. The latest versions of Boeing planes, with sufficient fuel tanks, can fly about 9,500 miles, which is a great achievement, but it is less than the required distance. There is a second important factor, which is the weather. The Pacific Ocean is considered one of the places on the surface of the Earth that has the most turbulent weather conditions: strong winds, rain, hurricanes, thunderstorms, and the biggest problem is that these weather conditions happen suddenly, meaning there is no possibility of accurate prediction, and therefore, the Pacific Ocean is considered more dangerous than the Atlantic Ocean and the Indian Ocean. In addition to what we have said, the Pacific Ocean does not have any reliable infrastructure to monitor the air movements of planes. Pilots cannot fly long distances without guidance from air traffic controller, and for this reason, there is a huge network of air traffic controllers spread throughout most parts of the world, also spread in the Indian Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean. The Atlantic Ocean, for example, is divided into 4 control zones that cover the entire ocean, including the New York Oceanic, the Santa Maria Oceanic, the Shanwick Oceanic, and the Gander Oceanic. But this does not exist in the Pacific Ocean, which is why pilots avoid it. One of the reasons pilots avoid the Pacific Ocean, which may surprise many of you, is that crossing the Pacific Ocean in a straight line is a very long distance, even compared to the long curved path that pilots take. You tell me, how is this long curved path shorter than the straight path? Didn't we learn that a straight line is the shortest path to reach 2 points? I'll tell you it's true. But the question is, who told you that there are straight paths on Earth? The Earth is spherical, so any line drawn on it is ultimately a curved line. Since our planet is larger around the middle, this makes the circumference of the Earth around the equator slightly larger than its circumference at the poles, so planes take the vertical path between the poles, which is a shorter path. One of the reasons to avoid flying over the Pacific Ocean is the jet streams. The planet Earth has 4 main jet streams that flow from west to east, and their speed exceeds 300 kilometers per hour. Jet streams at this terrifying speed affect the plane. Flying with jet stream can shave several hours off a trip, but flying into it can slow the plane down considerably. It is also worth noting the dangers associated with jet streams, the biggest danger being a type of turbulence known as clear air turbulence, which occurs along the edges of the streams. This type of turbulence is almost impossible to predict, and more intense than the usual variety, and accidents associated with turbulence are rare, but possible. Finally, let us clarify that there are planes passing over the Pacific Ocean constantly. There are people living there who need to travel from one place to another and have no choice but to fly. For example, flights from the west coast of the United States to Australia, flights between the Pacific Islands, flights to Hawaii, Fiji, New Caledonia, the Solomon Islands. All of these are flights where pilots have to take the Pacific route, but in this case, there are different ways to secure the plane, a different navigation method, and a certain type of pilot who undergoes special training that most pilots do not need to complete the flight.